Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. This is a reading for Scorpio energy. Now I think that I say this a lot for Scorpios. I feel like Scorpios can be really lovely people. I've known some great Scorpios in my life. My mum was a Scorpio, she was lovely. But like every sign there is a flip side. Like every sign has like the good positive version of the sign and the negative difficult version of the sign, and this kind of negative energy is really strongly coming through. Now it is coming through as Scorpio, so I don't know if you are dealing with another Scorpio or somebody with specific Scorpio placements. Now again, everybody's different, so just because someone's a Scorpio sun sign, they can have all different things going on in the chart, which is why you can get some people who are really malicious and some people who are really kind, or, you know, people who act differently in different circumstances, as people are wont to do. So I am getting the impression that somebody, now whether this is something that's in your chart or something in the chart of somebody that you're dealing with, somebody could have very controlling Scorpio placements. Particularly I'm getting like Scorpio in Mars or Scorpio Venus, like particularly Scorpio Mars placement. It's like this controlling placement, somebody who wants to emotionally control people is the way it's coming through. And I'm also getting something about Gemini energy, this kind of Machiavellian, almost like I'm not here to diagnose anyone, but if you think about like typical kind of like sociopathic behavior or narcissistic behavior, or what people say is that behavior, whether that's accurate or not, I'm getting that kind of thing coming through. Now, the funny thing is to me, okay, I'm going to start at the beginning. So the first thing that I was getting for you, like what, 2 weeks ago now, just after I did the Libra reading, I was starting to get through messages for Scorpio, and I didn't have the time to sit down and record the reading, and the energy kind of like stopped and kind of went away. But now the energy is back really strong, and I really feel like I need to do this reading because there's something wrong. That's the feeling. It's like there's something wrong. Now, if you're a parent, and I'm not trying to scare anyone, but if you're a parent and you think something's not right with your kid, like especially if you've got like a teenager and maybe they've joined a certain group, or maybe they're hanging out with a certain group of people, maybe they're doing things that they never used to do with these people. It's like if there's something with your intuition, and again, Scorpio and Scorpio placements tend to be very highly intuitive. If something feels off, if something feels wrong, if the alarm bells are ringing, then it's worth paying attention to that. And the advice that's coming through from Spirit is basically someone's kid could have got into a situation where, I don't want to say the word just in case I get kind of like flagged or anything on YouTube, but do you know what I'm going to say? So grooming. Somebody could have been in a situation where they feel like their child is being indoctrinated into a "see you later, Toby," or you know, a group that's exploitative in some sort of way. You know, some of the typical behaviors. I mean, I've had training because I was a teacher for a while, so or teaching assistant, trainee teacher. So I had training about the signs and like how to spot this. And so it's things like, you know, your kids suddenly got money, or, you know, new trainers, or, you know, are you thinking, where are you getting those things from? You know, suddenly like someone's buying them expensive gifts. So again, if this is in a relationship, you know, they could be getting love bombed, which, you know, it's like, you know, this new partner is going to be like spending money on them and taking them on fancy holidays and buying them, you know, brand new expensive gifts. And it's part of the process of yeah, grooming basically. And of course, that's not to say that people can't just give nice gifts because they really like someone and they really want to spoil them, and maybe they've got a bit of extra money and, you know, they want to show how much they like. But, you know, this is that one of those things where it's like you put all the pieces together and the picture starts to become clear. So, you know, this kind of love bombing, or, you know, buying expensive gifts, or this kind of courting process, and then what people like to do is separate the person and isolate the person from their normal contacts and their normal support system. So friends and family, old social groups. The person will start to become more and more distant. They'll stop answering texts, or they'll start to be more brief. And the reason is sometimes in these kind of very toxic relationships, whether that is a romantic relationship or, some kind of gang or some kind of see you later, Toby. You know what I'm saying there, right? See you later, Toby. Just looking for like buzzwords on YouTube that get me kind of hidden. So like if somebody's in one of these situations, and this can be even corporate, right? This can be corporate situations where, for example, now the funny thing is I was getting all this for you. I was already getting all these messages for you through intuition, through songs, through signs. And then I ended up watching a program on Netflix called Dancing with the Devil. And it is about a business, right? A talent management business that is exploitative or, accused of being exploitative, and, definitely a bit of a shady situation. And in this program, the family of one of the girls who got caught up in this, they were so worried about their daughter, and it seemed at the beginning, they were explaining, it seemed like this big opportunity, right? She went out there, she was having a great time, she was making money, she was getting followers on social media, and she was becoming quite successful. But all those things started to happen. She stopped contacting them. And I think one thing that I would say to anyone in that situation, that I think maybe the family realized that they got wrong in the beginning, was sometimes the victim in these circumstances, it takes them a while to wake up and really see what's happening. And a lot of the time they can excuse the perpetrator and things like this. So if the family start to attack the perpetrator, or, to make a big deal out of it, or to put too much emotional pressure on, the person can step back and like retreat, right? And the aggressor can use it as evidence that the family are interfering, or the friends are interfering, or it's almost like it has the opposite effect of what the family are intending. And I know this from people who are close to me who've been through similar things like this, and not quite to the extent of a see you later, Toby, but definitely in kind of toxic relationships where that person's going to excuse the partner's bad behavior. And it's one of those things where the partner can have good days and bad days. So vulnerable days where they're loving, and they're vulnerable, and they're they'll give a sob story, which the victim normally has a lot of empathy, and they want to, but at the same time they have this controlling or toxic behavior. So the victim can get very, very confused, and defending the person because it's like, oh, he doesn't mean to do that, and all this sort of thing. I'm sorry, this is very triggering for anyone, but the message is going to come through the way the message wants to come through. So and I feel like it's important as well. It's important for me to be like, hey, this is the message that I believe Spirit is giving me. This might help someone. So what the family were encouraged to do, and what I think, again, based on personal life experience, works best, is to just not attack, not criticize, not put too much emotional baggage onto the victim, but to say, hey, would love if you come over, let's go out for a coffee, and just keep those lines open. And if you watch the documentary series, what they ended up doing was not even necessarily talking about the situation, but they would go out and have a meal together and stuff like this. And it's really important, because that provides the person who may not realize the extent of the situation they're in. It's really up to the victim to realize what's happening and get out, right? They have to make that active choice. When that happens, when they think that's it, that's the line, that's enough, I'm out, they've got those open lines of communication, and they've got those safe spaces to go to, right? They've got the rescue crew ready. So yeah, I think that was a really important point that wanted to be made, to say, don't overwhelm them, don't go in too strong, don't be like crying, and just be friendly, just be open. You can even say, I have concerns about this situation, but you're an adult, you can make your own choices. If you ever want to talk, if you ever want to come out, around, doors open. So I don't know if that's going to help anyone. And again, if this is sounding familiar, I really do strongly recommend you watch that Netflix series, the Dancing with the Devil, to see what reflects, right? To see what hits and what doesn't. But something's definitely up because you've got the snake, the laurel tree and the snake. The laurel tree is about success for me. In ancient Rome, they used to use the leaves of a laurel tree to crown people as a symbol of success. But also there is a myth, I really like Ovid's Metamorphosis version of this myth, is because it really, drives the point home of the abuse of power that the gods can have against particularly, vulnerable mortals. And it doesn't have to be women. In ancient Greece, the gods were, yeah. So yeah, it's like success at what cost, and where is power abused? We can definitely see that this has been a hot topic with in the news recently. There's been some important court cases, which definitely, there've been stories around of people abusing their power in these sorts of ways. But yeah, the snake, it's an underhanded way of getting power, or somebody who has power who maybe that success is not deserved. Maybe there's a wolf in sheep's clothing here, or a snake in the grass. Like there's something not right about a situation. So heads up, Scorpio. Basically, Spirit is saying, be aware, be aware. It's kind of like all that glitters is not gold. Just be careful if you're getting tempted by some extravagant offers, or something that seems too good to be true, especially regarding your children. So again, going back to full circle to the initial messages that I was getting for you, there was something about somebody going to a city. I was getting kind of like cars and roads, like new pathways. So it could be like going to a city to explore new opportunities, but also again this idea of like getting in a car with somebody, and safety around that was kind of coming up originally. So I don't know, there's also something coming through about again, it's coming through kind of corporate, the way it's coming through. And again, just because it's a Netflix series, I do channel TV shows, I do channel movies. Anything that's in the popular consciousness comes through in my readings, which I think is very normal. But at the same time, if a lot of people are watching something, it's because a lot of people are, maybe they've had some kind of experience, and that's why they're interested in it. Or, normally if something's popular, it's relatable in some sort of way, or there's a lot of curiosity around it. I was getting through somebody could just be really interested in like true crime, murder mysteries, novels and movies with these kind of themes. So again, just be aware of that. But again, I would be doing a disservice if I dismissed it as, just a TV show or just a story, because, these shows and these movies and these stories, they come from real life, don't they? They come from because somebody's heard another story, or somebody's had a personal experience. They, just because it's a movie doesn't mean that somebody can't also be going through a similar experience. And there's a reason why I was taught this. When I started working in schools, there's a reason why I was taught to watch out for the warning signs, because it happens. So yeah, just be super careful. You trust your intuition. If you've got teenagers, just pay attention. And it's difficult to walk that fine line of giving them freedom, but also keeping them informed and keeping them safe. I think information is the best weapon. So even if that's a case of, maybe you sit down and watch that Netflix show together, and you say, that's interesting that this is how the situation came about, and you don't even have to make any explicit comparisons, because they're probably already making them in their own head, right? So just be clever about it. Don't put too much pressure on, because it can push people away. All right, who in spirit is helping Scorpio at the moment? Who in spirit is helping Scorpio? Oh, there's something as well. I'm sorry. Oh, well, we've got somebody. At the moment, Green Tara's coming out. Protection and liberation. There you go. Protection and liberation. exactly what those girls, well, not even girls, those people needed who were in that situation. They needed protection, they needed liberation, and they needed enlightenment, because they needed to wake up and realize what situation they were in. So yeah, spirit is absolutely helping. If anyone's in that situation, you know, green Tara might be a deity that you're interested in working with. Again, maybe unfamiliar to you, maybe familiar to you. If it's not something that is in alignment with your belief system or non-belief system, just, you know, you can ask spirit or those who are in spirit to help you with these certain topics if you want to take it that way. Also, drinking green tea could be really helpful to somebody, just as a side. Drinking green tea, actually, I was getting something through about there's something coming through about bowel health and digestive health. So any issues, any kind of warning signs with anyone's stomach, bowels, anything like that, do get that checked out. It's quite an important message, I think. And sorry, I don't mean to be all doom and gloom. It's one of the harder messages. Okay, so I'm just, a lot's coming through, and it's been a little while since I did a last reading, so I've got a lot to kind of put in order and share with you. So I was getting something through with like cookie cutter mold. So this was coming through as quite corporate. The idea of sometimes they show me, you know, those childhood toys where it's like you get a star and you have to put it into the star-shaped hole, and a circle and you put it through a circle-shaped hole. So the way Spirit was presenting this to me this time was like job descriptions, right? A company will be like, we're looking for this specific person with these specific you know, credentials to fit this specific job, but people come in all sort of different shapes and sizes. So it's this idea of kind of you should find the right job for the, it's like you should find, Spirit's saying you should find the right job for the person, the right job to fit the person, not force a person to fit the job, because it's the individual that's, it's like the individual is where the creativity and it's like that's where the magic is, in people being individuals. So there's something about like trying to put people in boxes, or trying to label people, or trying to it's like trying to understand people in a way where you have to be able to put them in a box, is the way it was coming through. And I don't know if this is you or something that you're finding, but yeah, Spirit was indicating something wrong with almost, again, I can definitely see that how this fits in with the idea of see you later Tobies, CULTs, because it's the idea, one of the things that happens is you know, the leader or the leaders can create this feeling of competition. You know, it's like you want the leader's attention, you want the praise, you want to be better than the other people, and you know, this kind of peer pressure of everybody keeping everybody else in check. So gosh, there's a lot coming in, guys, I'm sorry. Something was coming through about for example, manufactured pop bands, and this definitely happens with like K-pop and things as well, where it's like the pop machine, whether it's like we want a specific pop star, we want a rap artist, we want a rock star. It's like they have to fit the look, right? They have to fit the box. So it could be a situation where maybe you want a certain job and you want to be a dancer or a singer, or you know, even a PR person, like a front-facing person, and they're like, right, we really need you to be blonde, because the job description says we need somebody to be blonde, you know, something like that, where it's like you're having to change to fit the job. And it's something about not being authentic as well with that, but it's part of a machine. So these big manufactured pop machines, by getting everybody to all follow the same trends and all look the same, it means that the artists are easily replaceable. You know, there's even a Hollywood theory about like all the Ryans, right? All the action stars saying, well, if you can't get one Ryan, you get the other Ryan. And it's like, you know, you're getting kind of younger actors who look like actors from the 80s. You know, there's an actor now who looks really similar to Tom Cruise. And it's about commerciality and how easy it is to sell the person as a commodity because they look a certain way, right? It's like, But in doing that, in not being an individual, in being part of a cookie cutter system, you are replaceable, right? You're not special, you're replaceable. So by being unique and being individual, that's what gets you attention, and that's what gets you, that's where your corner of the market is, you know, your unique selling point, I guess. So yeah, there was something coming through about, definitely it could be like an opportunity, but an opportunity where you're required to sacrifice part of your identity to have success, which again is, I rebel against that. It sends warning signs for me. You also had the song For Non-Blondes. So you do have this thing about waking up, right, and seeing something, like what's going on. But there was something about the name For Non-Blondes, and again, this idea of stereotyping, and something about somebody who doesn't fit the mold. So if you think about a stereotypical blonde, right, it's like a Barbie, you know. Normally you think, okay, a blonde person, they're probably nice, they're probably not very smart, you know, they might be a little bit flirty, you know, and you might associate certain physical features with certain personality types, which may or may not be true, right? It's a stereotype. And something was coming through about this idea of like, you know, when they were coming up with the name of that band, non-blondes, it's like, yeah, well, we're cool because we're not blonde, you know, we're tough, independent women because we're not blonde. So it's almost like by saying you're not something, you're indicating that you're something else. But I don't know, I think society's changing a bit, because you have people like Margot Robbie who are, you know, plastic feminism, I suppose, where Margot Robbie can play Barbie, but she's also incredibly intelligent. So I don't know, there's something about, it could definitely be a Gemini or somebody with Gemini in the chart. It's coming through as feminine. It's like somebody who, again, a little bit like very clever socially. It's like allowing people to think you're one thing when you're actually something else. It's almost like, yes, let people underestimate me. Let people think I'm dumb so that I can outsmart them because they're not expecting it. So there is something almost Machiavellian, very Gemini it's coming through as. And I'm not saying Geminis are good or bad, just Gemini energy itself is very, very, is a bit Machiavellian. So yeah, there's something about almost like, and it, if you're dealing with a Gemini, if you've got like a Gemini bestie, go and watch Gemini's reading as well, because there's definitely something coming through. It was coming through in their reading, this idea of kind of like people who are not noticed, people who are underestimated, people who kind of like Villanelle, right? Villanelle, she dresses up as a waitress to get into, you know, to get close to the person that she's trying to assassinate, basically. So, and I'm not saying that's the situation for anyone, but this idea of kind of, I have certain skills that people may not be, I have skills that are not being valued, but in allowing people to underestimate them, it's like I can fly under the radar and like get away with murder, basically, but not actual murder, because obviously I'm not saying anyone should do a crime, but it's like it's to somebody's advantage if they're underestimated. There was also this kind of Bonnie and Clyde feeling coming through with Scorpio being, if there is some kind of controlling relationship going on, and I'm not saying this is you, Scorpio, but watch out for it in yourself, because Scorpio is inclined to this, especially if you have like Scorpio Venus placements or something like this. It was coming through as somebody who wanted to, it was like partners in crime. And if it's a Gemini, someone with Gemini placements, it's like they've done something chaotic. See, the thing is with Gemini likes chaos, or they're prone to chaos, where somebody who is, especially Mars placements, we could be talking about Mars placements, Gemini Mars and Scorpio Mars. Scorpio Mars is a planner, they're a strategist, they have their own goals, they have their own rules, not society's goals and rules, it's their own goals and rules. So it was coming through like partners in crime, and the Gemini had done something spontaneous or chaotic or rebellious. Could also be Sagittarius energy in there somewhere. and it kind of foiled the plan, or Scorpio felt betrayed in some way. I don't know if the Scorpio felt a loss of control in this situation, and it's like Scorpio, I don't know, like Gemini is asking for a second chance, but the Scorpio is saying, no second chances. In fact, I think I want revenge, is the way it's coming through. You know that song, Can You Forgive Her, or Do You Want Revenge? I think it's like Pet Shop Boys. So just be very, very careful, because it is coming through as controlling, and it is coming through as toxic, this idea of I can't forgive you for, because it's like the Gemini was just being who they are, right? The Gemini was being maybe a little bit chaotic because they're, you know, that's who they are as a person. They're prone to that. So it doesn't feel like an intentional betrayal, but Scorpios took it that way because, again, it's this idea of kind of be who I want you to be, not who you are. And that's not real love. If you don't love someone for who they truly are, you know, even the kind of chaotic side, then I don't know, it's control, it's not love. So I don't know who these readings are for. Let me just pull up the songs, because everything that I was thinking was confirmed. So you have the song Jane Doe by Leyla Blue. And this is sort of talking about you'll never know who I was because you never paid attention. I could be a Jane Doe is the way it's talking through what that means. And then Positions by Ariana Grande. So Jane Doe and Positions, it was like, well, anyone can do that job, right? You're not special, anyone can do that job. Something like that. I'm switching out positions for you, Jane Doe. So yeah, it was giving me that kind of, you know, cookie cutters, filling jobs with, I don't know, like being replaceable. Wonderful World by Jerry Ramone. This was really just telling me that someone was rebelling. I had this feeling of like someone's rebelling against this kind of cookie cutter system. And then that song played, which is like this really rocky version of it. And I was like, yes, that's in line with what I'm feeling. Let me just pull up the lyrics to this song. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is I Lost Myself by Munn. I lost myself that night. I threw it all away. Those are the things I've hated. Then I went and caved in. I'm a mess right now. My heart is in two places. Half is back at home. The other's off and racing. I've been running away. I know they'll catch me. Running in two opposite ways. I can't let my past catch me now. So yeah, it's like somebody who's got themselves into a certain situation, they've got carried away, they've got wrapped up in something, they're wishing they could just go back home to the family. Also, that song came on the other day, what was it? There's no stars in LA or something like that. There's no stars in the Hollywood Hills. What's Up by Four Non Blondes. A Taylor Swift song, Afterglow. Put you in jail for something you didn't do. I pinned your hands behind your back. Thought I had reason to attack. So I don't know if somebody's got somebody in trouble with the law or something like that. You know, somebody's accused something of something that somebody's not done. Then I've Got No Love by Gloria Estefan. I've got no love in me. Guess who's to blame? It's a crying shame. Well, it's all because of you. Don't live a lie. It's true. I've got no love in me. It's a mystery. How could you see? You dogged me long enough. Left me dry, but I'm tough. I've got no love in me. You ask me who to blame. Well, it's only you. You ask me how I trust. Well, it's me. That's who. Baby, you've hurt me so much. You're all I ever knew. And she does talk about, like, getting revenge as well. Oh, like, that's the thing. I was sort of thinking to myself, like, if somebody's coming back to Scorpio, like, what is Scorpio's response? And then I got that, I've got no love in me. So I was like, okay, there's no love left in this situation. You know, the Scorpio feels betrayed, and the betrayal has replaced the love. But then you got the song Hunt You Down by Kesha. And this is what I'm talking about. This is where it dips into toxic, and that Scorpio need for revenge is really unhealthy. And this song is just very controlling. It's like, imagine being in a relationship with somebody like this. It's incredibly controlling. It's not healthy. I want to be your baby, your angel all in black. It's a cool song, don't get me wrong. I want to be your baby, your angel all in black, your little blue-eyed gypsy who's always got your back. Again, it's this I've got your back, right? It's this partners in crime. I want to be your favorite and always by your side. I want to talk forever with babies down the line. But I've got something to tell you first. I've never hurt nobody, never buried a body, never killed no one, but I ain't afraid to get a little crazy, baby, when I'm in love. You say you've had all the fun and that you're done and I'm the one, but just know if you fuck around, boy, I'll hunt you down. So it's a threat, right? It is. That song is a threat. I will hunt you down. I've never killed someone, but I will hunt you down. You know, so I don't know. I don't fuck with Scorpios because, and again, there's some great Scorpios out there. My mum's Scorpio, she was amazing. But if anyone had ever hurt me, she would have hunted them down, right? So I don't know. It's a bit intense, isn't it? And I'm not a fan of that kind of emotional control. You know, there's one thing setting boundaries, saying don't cheat on me because that breaks my boundary, but quite another thing to say, if you break my boundary, this is, you know, I'm gonna hunt you down. Like that's a step too far, right? That goes from being, you know, a healthy boundary to a toxic boundary, because you're keeping someone in line with a threat. You know, it's that thing about, I say this about like cats and dogs. You know, dogs are loyal even if the owner hits them. Cats, you know, if you don't treat a cat well, that cat is going to leave. And so if the cat stays, then, you know, you're treating the cat right. So it's better to give someone independence and treat them well and have them stay by choice than force someone to stay. I don't know. Okay, let's go again. So spirit, you've got a lot coming through. Like, honestly, spirit guides all over the place. So Guru Ram Das definitely feels like a spiritual leader, right? I don't know if he's good. I don't know if it's good or bad. Humility, spiritual practice, and elevation. So I'm not saying that specifically Guru Ram Das. I don't know much about them. I'm not saying this specific deity is bad, but I'm saying somebody could be. I think a lot of the time, and it's so easy to spot for me, it's so recognizable because, you know, if you are interested in you know, anything like true crime or these kind of documentaries that they show, it's always the same. You know, any documentary you watch on See You Later Tobies, there's going to be certain things that are reoccurring, you know, no matter what the situation. And one of the things is people using spirituality to usurp power, right? These are not real spiritual leaders. These are people posing as spiritual leaders in order to control and exploit people. And so if anyone's going to hell, I think it's the people who are controlling people through you know, parodying as a religion, because it's blasphemous. So and then I think a lot of the time, especially America, I don't know why are you like this? I don't know if it's certain parts, but you know, people are so willing to, it's like as soon as you throw the word God in there, people are like, well, God, like that's the power word, this must be legit if they're talking about God. And it's like, maybe they just know that they can exploit you by saying it's God. You know, don't put all your faith in, you know, just because someone's a pastor, it doesn't mean that they are God chosen, right? Just because they say they're God chosen doesn't mean they're God chosen. They could just be like, hey, there's people I can exploit here. And I'm not saying that every spiritual leader does that. There are some, you know, really great religious leaders out there, some really great people working for churches and things who are genuinely kind people who want to make a difference in the world. But you've got to learn to tell the difference between the good ones and the ones who are doing the devil's work, right? Under a blasphemous name. So, and I believe in everything. I think if there is a God, it's one thing and it's everything, right? It's people say God is omnipotent, omnipowerful, omnipresent. Omni means everything. So you can't split it and like it breaking up a jigsaw puzzle and saying this is the right jigsaw piece. It's just one piece of a larger jigsaw. So that's my own personal view. And don't take me as any kind of spiritual authority, because I'm not, right? I'm just a person who for some reason seems to be able to predict things and gets told random stuff without really knowing what it means, and then it turns out to be something. For some reason, I'm tuned into something, right? And it's not something that I asked for, it's something that just kind of happened. And I hope that I'm doing good with this. I hope that I'm helping people. I hope that I'm solving problems. I hope that I'm stopping people from being able to do bad things in the world. But I don't know. I don't have answers. I don't feel like I have all the answers. So again, anything like this, just use your own intuition to guide you. Does it sound right? Does it fit? Does it help? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel bad? If it makes you feel bad, is there something you need to work through there, or is it just that this isn't for you? And that's for you to decide. It's not for anyone else to tell you what to think or feel or believe in. Okay, Horus, clear seeing, intention and perspective. So again, the idea of getting that perspective, getting that clear-sightedness, being able to think for yourself, think independently is really important, especially if someone around you is being emotionally or socially manipulative or trying to control with money. Lady Nada, divine service, light work and higher heart. So I think, and Persephone, youth, innocence and rebirth. There's something about, again, we've got two blondes here, right? two little pink blondies here. So again, this idea of maybe somebody's got a type. I feel like, these kind of girls or these kind of people, youth, innocence, higher heart, light work, divine service. I think there's a lot of people in the world who are good people, and they want to do good in the world, and they want to be part of something bigger, and they want to believe in the right things, right? And they want to do divine service, and they want to find the right people to help them to do those things. And I think a lot of the time they run into, and again, like, I'm not saying it's these people, right? Hopefully these people are helping these people to find the right path, but the people who want to exploit, what they're looking for is somebody who's young, and what they're looking for is somebody who's innocent and somebody who's naive. These people are ripe for, joining a see you later, Toby, right? They are the people that these people, I shouldn't keep pointing over here because it's making it look like it's a race thing, and that's not what I'm intending. I'm pointing over here because this is the spiritual leader, right? That's it. That's all I'm saying here, because it's Guru Ram Dass, right? It's like the spiritual leader. So again, I'm hoping that this is good, but just in the context of what I've already been talking about, maybe look at the why, right? Maybe look at the, if that person's walking barefoot and, I don't know, like, doing good things, then that's one thing. But if that person's making money, like in the case of Dancing with the Devil, the person there was making a huge amount of money and getting a lot of celebrity, get a lot of status, driving big cars. He had like 12 houses or something, they said. Are they in it for the money? And then, like a lot of religious leaders, it took a turn into sex and physical exploitation. So just what are the motives of the people that you're following? Are they practicing what they preach? I think is a good question. So like I say, if these are what spirit, the spirit helpers who are helping you. So I'm going to say there are spirit helpers who are guiding you on the right path, right? There are people in spirit guides, who you can talk to one-on-one with your own intuition, without an interpreter, without the middleman. You've got your own spirit guides to help you do good in the world and see the light and have clarity and find the right spiritual practices for you. Right? In your heart, in your soul. I feel like if God's anywhere, that's where you're going to find him. Him, her, they, them, right? Whatever flavor of a religion you're choosing from today. And that's not my choice to make, right? Transformation and loneliness. Ciotta and Lemur. Okay, I'm not going to take those because I wasn't ready, but transformation and loneliness. So the idea of I'm lonely, I have to transform into something else. You know, it's that, what's that song where it says, maybe if I go blonde, we'll get our old love back. It's a Lana Del Rey song. You know, maybe if I look. Okay, hi friends. I'm sorry the video cut out and I was talking for a few minutes before I realised it had happened. So the cards that came out were darkness with the long dark night, fecundity, this idea of something growing inside, a change happening, transformation came out, and loneliness. So this idea of someone feeling very alone because a change is happening internally, and that could be making them feel, do you know, it's like if you're with a group for a long time and then you start to see things differently than the rest of the group, or you start to feel things, like you feel the change coming on and you don't feel like you quite fit in with the group anymore, and it makes you feel quite lonely and isolated, which again is how cults control people, because they say, you know, it's that peer pressure of you need to fit in, you need to think like we do, you need to say what we say. So this idea of, oh, I feel different now, I feel like I've changed, or something's changed, but now I feel isolated and lonely and scared, and, you know, maybe facing that kind of darkness of, I don't know where I'm going next, I don't know what's going to happen next. So just to acknowledge that those cards came out, I'm going to pull cards again on camera because I think it's important for you to see what comes out on camera. What else as well? Yeah, there could be something about technology as well. Like, you know, again, in toxic relationships, people who want to control someone's phone, right? Control someone's social media. You know, like if someone's asking for access to your social media, or somebody's trying to get you blocked or something like that. Just, I don't know. Again, that was something that came up in that Netflix documentary. So it could just be that. But just because I'm getting a few phone problems. What is Spirit helping Scorpio with, please? Oh, gosh. Your intuition. I hope you saw that come out. Intuition. Cat. What was I talking about? I keep saying the word intuition. Spirit's guiding you. Trust your intuition. It's the first thing that I said. And light. Trust the light inside you. God, like I said this, I don't know if it was on camera, if it got cut out. But I said something about you don't need the middleman, right? If God is omnipresent, then I think you feel that in your heart and your soul, right? You know the right thing to do because you'll feel it in your heart and soul, right? You'll just know. That's your intuition. That's God speaking directly to you, if you believe in God. And again, I believe in a lot of things, right? I'm very open with my belief system. And if you're not, that's okay. You know, different people are allowed to believe different things. I studied humanities. It's what makes us interesting and diverse as a species, right? That we've got different opinions and beliefs. It should be celebrated, not stamped out. Because as soon as you start to stamp it out, as soon as you start to go, my religion, my belief, my opinions are the right opinions, or the belief, or the right system, the right religion, and anything else is wrong, and we need to stamp that out. We need to either bring people to heal or, you know, push them away. Then that's intolerance, right? And that's tyranny, and that's abusive, right? Of abusing power. So I think it's better to kind of say, hey, this is what I believe in. Here's all the reasons why I believe in it. If you want to come and join us, that's great. And you know what? If you ever change your mind, we can stay friends, but it's okay. You can go and figure out, you know, who you are and what you believe in. That's healthy, right? If someone's not saying that to you, if someone's saying to you, if you leave, you can never come back and you will go to hell, why are they trying to control you? Why aren't they letting you figure things out for yourself? Have they got an ulterior motive? Maybe. Be the cat. Spirit's helping you be the cat. They want you to figure it out for yourself. You know, I would. Here we go with the blasphemy. If I was God and I gave people autonomy, if I was like, these little creatures I've made, let's see what happens if I let them think for themselves. You know, oh, they're eating the apple. Okay, well, I told them not to, but fine. I'm the one who gave them autonomy, right? I would be like, let's see what they do with this. Hey, aren't I cool for giving them autonomy? Let's see. Let's see if they can figure things out for themselves. I'll send them signs. I'll guide them. I'll give them good options. Let's see if they take them. right? I don't know, what type of Sims player are you? Are you autonomy on or autonomy off? Okay. Tell me about, so we're going past, present, future, emotions, thoughts, action space. Past emotions. Oh, very, very stressed. This looks to me, because it's in your emotions, but it's thoughts in your emotions. This looks to me like when people emotionally shut down as a survival instinct. So if you're in a situation where you are very, very stressed, maybe you've got a lot of work to do, maybe you've, you know, like it's like when it goes beyond feeling a little bit stressed and needing a good night's sleep, this is like, I haven't slept for weeks because I can't get these thoughts out of my head, right? I can't get these worries off my mind. It can indicate, the Nine of Swords is quite an extreme card in terms of mental health. It can indicate the need to seek help because this is becoming an ongoing problem. Yeah, like the Four of Swords for me is more of a, I'm a bit stressed right now, but it's situational, you know. The Nine of Swords indicates a heavier energy. So if you need to get help, if you need to get counseling, if you need to speak to someone, if you need to make some changes to not feel that way anymore, again, this is in the past, so hopefully you've already done these things. But when we're really, really stressed, right, when our brain goes on overdrive, we can shut down emotionally because it's overwhelming, right? So there could have been some emotional numbness because the thoughts were too much. So hopefully we're going to see some changes. Tell me about the thoughts then. The Magician. You were trying to manifest something. You wanted something to happen and you felt like you could make it happen. You felt like you had, or you thought you had everything that you needed to make something happen. So you wanted to make some kind of dream a reality and you were thinking about how to do this. This could be where the stress comes from, because it's like, if this is really important to you and you're really, really trying to think, how do I make this real? How do I make this dream a reality? What do I need to do? If it's really important to you, that could be why you've been so stressed out about it. But you've got to remember, and it's what he's holding, right? One of the most important tools, because the Magician has 4 tools. He has the sword, the cup, the wand, and the, what else? The pentacle. The 4 tools of the tarot, right? To help him. And so he needs that cup. And the cup indicates emotions, friendships, you know, having your intuition turned on. And so if you were trying to make something happen and it wasn't happening, I feel like it's because the swords became a source of stress, right? There were too many things to think about. There were too many thoughts. So the cups was no longer a utility. So I feel like it might be a spiral where it's kind of like, why isn't this happening for me? Why isn't this happening for me? Why isn't this happening for me? And the more it doesn't happen, the more stressed you got about it, which made you emotionally shut down more and more and more. But it's like bringing love back into the situation is the thing that you needed to do, right? Turning the emotions on was the thing that you needed to do to have movement. And what was going on in the action space while all this was happening? You were defensive. I feel like there's an energy, heartbroken as well, a little bit perhaps. I feel like you could have been defensive, right? Because there could have been a reason why you had to defend yourself, maybe against other people's opinions, and maybe you had to defend some choices you made, your actions that you made. You know, maybe you had people who had their own opinions or something to say about that. You know, so you had to stand up and stand your ground and kind of stick up for yourself. Maybe you were trying to make something happen for yourself and you felt like other people weren't supporting you, which again could be a reason why the cups wasn't there. But I do think you definitely had something that you were trying to make happen, or you were thinking about making something happen. It does seem like a stressful situation, whatever that was. And we'll get some clarifiers as we kind of move along. And so what was going on? I'm so warm. What's going on emotionally now then for Scorpio? For Scorpio now, what's happening emotionally? Scorpio's current feelings. So you feel like something has to end. Like, like no question about it kind of thing. Like, this is done. You feel like something's done, something's over, something's ended. You could be dealing with the death, which is impacting you emotionally. So you could be entering into a grieving stage. But that feels more like an emotional death, right? That is, yeah, it feels to me like you're done with something. Like that's done, that's ended. I don't know how you feel about that. It could be positive, it could be negative. I want to say if a situation that's been causing you a lot of stress has ended, even if it's happened involuntary, then spirit could have stepped in, almost like closing that door because they know it's not good for you, even though you wanted it. You know, sometimes spirit knows best. In your thoughts right now, I need to be alone. I need time alone. I need to reconnect with my own soul, with my own beliefs, with my own spirit. I need to disengage. I need to go quiet. I need to figure things out internally. The Hermit card is, you've got quite a bit of major arcana as well. The Magician, the Death card, and the Hermit card. Yeah, that's, you're thinking about getting back in touch with who you are as a person, what matters to you, and finding guidance from that, right? Acting from the heart and acting from the soul. I feel like maybe you had a bit of analysis paralysis in the past. I'm an air sign, I get it. I've got a lot of air in my chart. Gemini moon drives me crazy. And what's going on in your action space then? Action space? Oh yeah, you don't. Bloody done. You do feel betrayed. You know, I was picking that up in the beginning of the reading. That's betrayal. I don't know whether you feel like you've betrayed someone else or somebody's betrayed you, but this is like the kind of betrayal that there's no coming back from. At least that's the way it looks right now. That's the way you feel right now. Like, we can't survive this. We're done. Like, how could you hurt me like that? You know, et tu, Brute. So the good thing about this though is there's a new dawn, right? The sun is rising. After something that looks like it's been quite painful. What I would say is a really positive sign for me as a reader. You've gone from the Nine of Swords, which is a challenge card. It's a very difficult energy in your emotions as well. Like that's pretty tough, to an actual Ten of Swords, right? So that's progression. It tells me that a bad situation has ended. So come on, spirit. Come on, spirit. What is in the near future for Scorpio? So emotionally for Scorpio, make it good. A different perspective. I'm going to say it almost went the other way. So I feel like it's going to take some time for you to change perspective. But it will come. There's a situation that you're going to see from a different angle. And it's in your emotions. So emotionally, you're going to feel a different way about something, right? So I want to say there could be a situation that's really hurting right now. Watch out for that need for revenge. That's not healthy. But again, with a little bit of time and space and clarity, because what did you have? What was spirit helping you with? Your intuition, certainly, which is here, right, with the Hermit. Humility, spiritual practice. Maybe something's hurt your ego. Elevation, clear seeing, right? Hangman, clear seeing, perspective. They are helping you with this. Whatever this is, you're going to find a better path, because whatever situation has ended or you're leaving wasn't right for you anyway. As much as you wanted it to happen, spirit knew better, because it was causing you so much stress. So yeah, again, another major arcana. You're getting some really big guns out here. As a metaphor. Thoughts. Scorpio's thoughts in the near future. Ooh. We're gonna have a party. We're gonna celebrate. Do you know what? I know how to make myself happy. I don't need anyone else to be my emotional pick-me-up. I know what makes me happy. So I can go out and pursue those things, right? I can go spend time with the people who make me happy. I can celebrate my own personal milestones. I don't, if I get my friends around, if people are cheering me on, then that's great. But even if it's just me and my sister, right? Me and my sister and my mum, whoever it is, me and my besties, we can celebrate our wins, we can celebrate our achievements. So where the Nine of Swords is a really difficult nine, the Nine of Cups is a really joyful card. It means wish fulfillment. I think this is about, I think maybe you've been, excuse me. Okay, yeah, so this is, I feel like you've been, again, it's like, say for example, you wanted to be a successful, again, using that Netflix documentary as an example. I want to be a dancer. I really want to go to this dance school because I want to, because that's what you do. That's the route available to me. That's how I achieve my dreams, by, joining that dance school and, having that management company represent me. But then, you could, what happened with these people originally was they just started using TikTok, right? They started using social media, and they did quite well themselves. So they didn't even need a manager. I mean, they do talk about why they wanted a manager in the first place, but this idea of kind of like, I can do it myself. I don't have to give my power away. I don't have to give my money away to someone else. I can have success on my own terms, which is what that looks like to me. Because again, this is celebration of a wish fulfillment, and this is celebration of milestones. So I'm celebrating my own achievements. And even if nobody recognizes that, at least I recognize my own achievements. And that's more important, right? Recognizing your own achievements and your own value is more important than having a million people cheering you on. If you don't believe it yourself, right? You have to have self-worth and inner confidence to have any real sense of accomplishment. Otherwise, any sense of confidence you have is on the ebb and flow of strangers' opinions, right? Who don't really know you. The person who knows you best is yourself. And if you don't like yourself and you don't celebrate who you are and your own achievements, then how could you expect anyone else to? So if that's what you're getting to in the near future, then that's very, very healthy. And it's going to have you in a much better place than whatever's been going on here. Okay, future action space. What's going on physically? Oh, that is flipped off the table. Oh my God, perfect card. Fresh start. The Ace of Wands. Brand new start. Really excited. Feeling really creative. Really optimistic. Very enthusiastic. Something new coming in, and you're going to grab it. You're going to grab it. You're going to be excited. It's going to be really good. Yeah, cool. Watch out for whatever that is, but be patient. It may take some time. It might not happen overnight, guys. We might be here in a couple of months going, it's on the horizon, but it is coming. It's that, right? Okay, let's clarify. Nine of Swords. What got you into this headspace? Yeah, someone else hogging the spotlight, someone else getting the credit for your work, someone else holding your dreams like a carrot on a stick above your head. The Star card, yeah. Yeah, someone was gatekeeping your success. Or you had some kind of dream, wish, you idolized someone and compared yourself to them, and you were like, well, I'm not like them, so I'm not good enough. Well, you're not meant to be like them. You're meant to be like you. And find your own path and your own version of success. Your success doesn't have to be a carbon copy of someone else's. The Magician. You're trying to manifest something. You're trying to make something happen. What was going on externally? Oh, working together as a team. Six of Cups. Could it be children involved? Another Magician. Yeah. So you feel like, gosh, you were dealing with somebody who was perhaps very good at communicating, perhaps very blunt. Maybe this person was probably very intelligent, very informed. It could be something to do with communication. But you've also got a Magician here as well. So it's your Magician against their Magician. And it feels like there should have been a collaboration. Right, you should have been on the same page. You should have been all working towards the same goals, the same dreams. And maybe there's some nostalgia involved in this. But this person's very swords. I don't know if it's like this person's words or because this person operates on, it's like thoughts and communication, swords, right? Thoughts, action, communication. They don't feel very cozy, right? Or it could be you were collaborating with a group of people, but it could be air signs. You know, there's too many air signs in there. This is making me think like, where is the love? I don't know. It feels like everybody's gone very cold and efficient. Right? Everybody's trying to make something happen. Everybody's working together on something, but everybody's gone a bit clinical, a bit. It does feel like competing. I don't know. It feels like this person's competing for the same goal as you. Right? It's almost like you're going down, you know? Kiss my feet or something. So yeah, again, this idea of something that's competitive. It feels very competitive. Competitive and cold. And so you had to defend yourself. You had to... So this Ace of Wands here, it feels like letting something go. It feels like letting something go in order to get it, you know? It's like turning one job down to get another job that is almost exactly the same but better. Because this is looking like red tape to me. This Ace of Wands here, which again it's this same card. It's like exciting, new opportunity, great. It's like I can't go for it. My hands are tied. I'm trapped. There's too much red tape. I don't know how we're going to get this done. We can't get this off the ground. We can't make this happen. So yeah, if that whole row feels like being part of a group or part of a team and having some kind of dream or wish, but maybe a lot of people have this shared dream or wish. And so there's competitiveness. It's like you have to defend your ideas. Maybe you wanted to do a certain project or you wanted to get an idea off the ground, but you know, this feels like gatekeeping, you know, it's like there's too much red tape, there's too many competing interests. That's going to get tangled up in the filing system, so you know, it's never going to get off the ground. You know, it's like your idea is always getting put on the shelf or something like that. Yeah. It's like, well, you have to stick up for yourself. You have to defend this idea. Why do you want this? So it feels like you're maybe going independent. Because this feels like this is definitely an ending. Like you've got 10 of Swords and the Death card all on this row and the Hermit, which is doing it on your own. Like, fine, I'll do it on my own then. Feels like people are gossiping. That's like the water cooler card for me. It's like they're all going, go on then, fine. Go on then, do it on your own. I think you will. That's why I've got a smile, like, as I say that, because I think you will do it on your own. It's like, I'll show them. What's the Hermit card? I'm getting a song. Is it a can or I can't make it on my own? It all to you, just what I can do. Carry on and on. Why is the Hermit card here? Two of Wands. You've got a choice to make. You've got options. And again, I feel like there's two options available. You see here how you've got the two wands. This wand is your wand, right? This is in your action space. This wand is in their action space. And here you've got a choice to make. And you're deciding, right? You're deciding, do I choose this one with the red tape? Or do I choose this one with no red tape and a whole load of opportunities? Could be something about the internet with this second opportunity. Yeah, but it's your choice. It has to be your choice. And you know this, right? This is in your thoughts. You know this has to be your choice. So what's the Ten of Swords about? This betrayal? Secrets. There's stuff going on that you don't know about. The moon is a secrets card. It's things that are hidden. And that creates fear and illusion. You know, if we don't have all the answers, if someone's keeping secrets from us, you know, we start to speculate and we start to worry, which again, you've got up there. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about the moon and these secrets. Anything else? Yeah, not Four of Cups. I don't know if you've like not been chosen for something, maybe like not been chosen for a project, or you know, there's relationships that didn't work out. I mean, definitely there's 3 cups on this card that were not satisfactory, and there's 3 cups here, which again, like, they don't feel like, you know, it's like kind of co-workers who are friendly to your face and then they're kind of like bitching about you behind your back, and then you walk in and they're kind of like, hi. I don't like gossipy people like that. Like, everybody gossips a little bit, right? Everybody talks about other people. I talk about other people. I'm like, oh, how's that person getting on at that new job, and you know, things like that. But like, I think some people enjoy being bitchy. There's a difference, right? There's a difference between social gossip and that kind of bitchy them and us type of behavior, and I don't like that. So it's kind of like saying, well, I don't want any more of that. I don't. But the 4th cup is the divinely guided cup. The 4th cup is like God's going, right, just because that didn't work out, just because those people weren't nice, doesn't mean that the next person's not going to be nice, right? Doesn't mean all work relationships are going to be bad. Just because you're basing that on this one situation. Tell me about the Hangman. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely independence. I feel like you're seeing somebody else do it, because this isn't you. This is a different deck. This is for external factors. The 9 of Pentacles, like where you've got emotional independence here, the 9 of Pentacles is physical, financial independence. This is somebody who owns their own business, or they do it all themselves, right? It's like, I was saying this about social media, you know, being somebody who creates social media. It's like, I've got to be the producer, I've got to be the artist, I've got to be the creative, I've got to be the editor, I've got to be the promotion person. It's like, normally you'd have like a whole production company, a whole team to create something like a video, right? But you know, I do it all myself. I write the script, I write the theme tune, I sing the theme tune. So I feel like you're watching somebody else do it, right? You're seeing someone else doing it on their own without these systems, because this feels like a group or a company or a system. And you're like, well, if they can do it on their own, what's stopping me from doing it on my own? How do they do it on their own? And then excited that you can do it on your own. Yeah. It's like, you don't need, it's like, I can definitely see something like this for me where, so sometimes you see something and you think, I'd love to do that. Like, that's the road to success. Like, that's my dream, right? And then you do all the things that you need to do to I don't know, qualify, or to get into that position, right, that you think is going to be the doorway, the access, the gateway to the things that you want. And then sometimes you get there and it's like the universe has played a little trick on you, because it's like, oh, well, now I'm shackled, right? Now I have to follow these rules and these procedures and these conditions, because I'm, you know, I've been employed in that certain job, or, you know, and then that feels restrictive, right? You don't have the creative freedom perhaps, or the time freedom to follow your own interests and the things that you're passionate about. And I think what happens a lot of the time is when we're doing something because we really enjoy it and we're passionate about it, it becomes better quality, right? Because we've put our all into it because we wanted to. When we do something because we have to do it, right? Because there's a time limit or a schedule, or it's part of our job, you know, it's how we're going to get paid. you know, it can take some of the joy out of it. And then, you know, maybe we don't put quite as much effort into it. Or, you know, as much as we think, oh, I'd really like that to be successful, you know, having to do it, it's a different energy to approach it. So, especially if it's a situation where there is a lot of red tape, right? And then you can do it without the red tape and it feels very liberating. Did I pull a card for that? The Nine of Cups and the Four of Wands. The World. Definitely feels like you could be doing something with the internet. Or it's like you're sharing your stories, you're sharing your experiences. But also it's like external, so it's kind of like the world's your oyster, right? There's a lot of opportunity out there. It's an open book now. You could be going to university. Ace of Wands. So this exciting new project, this thing that you really want to get going with. What's this? Queen of Swords. So there could be somebody who can help you. It's more swords energy. I don't know. It could be legal, right? It could be a legal thing where, I mean, the Eight of Swords can be jail. And that Taylor Swift song did mention jail. This is like, maybe it's like social media jail, or like, you know, the companies put you in the corner. King of Swords, Knight of Swords. This could be legal. This could be contracts, legalities, advisors. But you see how it's like they're going in a backwards direction. And then with all this red tape, it's like the legal team says you can't do that or something like that. Where probably for good reasons. But you just keep hitting these, like, you keep hitting these gates is the way it's coming through. And so over here, I feel like, because it's a different swords, right? You've got the whole family. You've got King of Swords, Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords. Just missing the page. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, that's my tummy rumbling. The Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So this feels like somebody who can help you. And it's somebody who is, they're still swords, right? So whatever it is that they were doing, it's like they're of the same type. But I want to say the Queen of Swords is bringing you clarity and truth, where here you felt very confused. You felt like people were keeping secrets from you. The thing with the King of Swords, like they've all got the swords raised here, which is interesting because normally the King of Swords has his sword pointing down, indicating that he holds on to his truth, right? It's on a needs to know basis. But here he's communicating something, and I feel like maybe it was a bit brutal. Here, again, you're getting this clear communication. But the Queen of Swords is all about truth and clarity and honor. So I want to say, even though it's swords, where these swords were getting you feeling stuck and, you know, giving you sleepless nights and making you worry, this is the kind of truth speaker who is going to chase away those clouds and give you strategy and give you clear-sightedness. It's like you will know the road ahead, right? You will see the path ahead because of this, the way this person communicates and speaks. So I feel like this is a collaborator, right? This is the person who can get the job done that they couldn't get done, is the way that feels. Let me just get one more. Tell me one more thing about this Queen of Swords. Karma. Could be a Libra. Libra's reading was Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. Karma is a... and then the Hermit card. You've got the Hermit here, right? It's like this person sees that your destiny is to do it. It's like confirming, it's like, yes, your destiny is to do it by yourself. The Karma card's the Judgment card. So it's like you'll get a second chance, you'll get a second try. But also, if you do things using your intuition, right? Using your intuition, guided by spirit, doing things because your heart and soul is in it, then that's going to bring you better karma. So this person seems to be saying, always trust your instincts, always trust that, you know, if God will guide you, if you like. But there's something as well about the transformation here, about, it's funny because you start with the two magicians, right? The magician here and the magician here. where this one's a lot more ostentatious. Can you see he's got like these flashy robes on? And then this hermit looks like a magician to me, and he's got the flashy robes on. Right, give me a second. I want another deck. Let's get the Gilded Tarot. Something going on with that. So tell me, because this is you, right, and this is them. Tell me the energy here between the two magicians. The energy between the two magicians. King of Cups and Knight of Pentacles. It's like backs turned on each other, but kind of looking, it's kind of like, I know you're looking at me. The Knight of Pentacles, there could definitely be someone who's a Virgo or who has Virgo in the chart. That feels a bit like there's two people in between the pair of you. The Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving. They're very, very consistent, right? This is somebody who's going to do it the right way. They're a perfectionist. They might take a little bit longer, but they're going to do it right. The King of Cups is, I mean, it's Scorpio energy. Somebody who's very, very emotionally intuitive. They feel very deeply. They have very good intuition. A lot of love to give, a lot of time and patience to share. There's a little bumblebee trying to come in. I don't know if that's a sign for someone. I say little, it was huge. This feels like patience. So the energy between you is love and patience. So you don't feel, I mean, it could be lots of different, it feels like there's lots of people involved, right? You and the magician have love and patience between you. So tell me about this Swords energy. Patience. It's like maybe it's someone who keeps on telling you the communication's coming, be patient, it's coming, be patient, it's coming, be patient. It's like they're always dangling that carrot on the stick. And then we end up, sorry, I just need to clear the cards, there's so many. And then we end up with the two hermits, right? It's like they've got the same pose and everything. It's like reflecting each other, but this one has the fancy robes and this one has less fancy robes. So what's the energy between the two hermits? Death. Why? The Sun. Freedom. It's like by ending this connection, there's freedom. Yes, what a strange reading. The Prince. The Moon. The Library, Snow and Mirrors. All right, make of it what you will. I don't know. What a funny little reading you've got there. Okay, let's get you a song to close out that reading. And then I need to go to the bathroom, I think, because my tummy is making some funny noises and it's embarrassing to me. Netflix is trying to get my attention. That's funny. You've got Snow, and the song that's currently playing, if I can kind of show you, is Snow by Emily Moore. So I'll screenshot that and put it in the description box with all your other songs. What is going on? What am I not understanding there? Okay, it's an Ionis advert, but the song that came up was Luxurious. It like flashed up. If I shut it and open it again, you'll see Luxurious by Gwen Stefani. Oh gosh, it's French. I'm not going to try and read that. Working so hard every night and day, and now we get the payback. Trying so hard, saving up the paper, and now we get to lay back. Working so hard every night and day, and now we get the payback. In champagne kisses, hold me in your lap of luxury. I only want to fly first class, desires, you're my limousine. So elegant the way we ride, our passions, it just multiplies. Have you been... it almost has like a soulmate energy to it, doesn't it? In that case, like the two magicians, like you're both magicians. The Hermit card, you're both the Hermit. And it's like you get fancier clothes. I don't know. I give up. I don't know. I'm confused by your reading, Scorpio. Maybe it's on a needs to know basis. I don't know. But the death between you, like that's the shared energy. I'm gonna go. I don't know. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and I hope this reading was helpful to you. I'm gonna go and stop subjecting you to my rumbly tummy, and I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.